A study from Statistics Canada has some gloomy news for young people in the workforce. It says they have seen their job quality decline over the last 4 decades. An incident at a rally in Edmonton on the weekend is being decried as hate-mongering and insults. Critics are angry that people against a proposed carbon tax erupted in chants of "lock her up," referring to NDP Premier Rachel Notley. The federal government has earmarked $218 million over 5 years to lure foreign investment. International Trade Minister Chrystia Freeland says the money will go to invest in Canada Hub, which was announced last month. From the Canadian Press, I'm Roger Ward.
Here's Mark and Don Leslie from Leslie Motors.
Hey, Don, I think people like the small town atmosphere we have in our 3 dealerships.
You're right, and I don't think they realize we have over 100 new and 75 pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And if we don't have what you're looking for, we will try our best to find it.
You could call it big city inventory with a small town atmosphere.
Hey, that's pretty good. Did you think of that all by yourself?
Leslie Motors in Harriston, Walkerton, and Wingham. A pleasant drive from anywhere.
The weather is presented by Grey Bruce Brick and Landscape Supply. Check out their popular Canrock line of retaining walls and many styles of interlocking stone. Visit their showroom at 525 First Street in Hanover or online at greybrucebrick.ca.
For tonight, partly cloudy and low of -1. Tuesday, showing cloud, wind becoming southeast at 30 kilometers in the morning, calling for a high of +5. Cloud overnight with a 40% chance of rain or snow, windy and a low of -1. For Wednesday, cloud with a 40% chance of flurries, windy and a high around freezing. The cloud continues overnight with a 70% chance of flurries, wind and a low of 0. And for Thursday, the fun really begins.
We're going to be on in about 45 seconds time. Okay, so break
flurries
away.
or squalls continue overnight, low of -4.
All right, good
and looking
stuff.
forward to Friday, flurries and
I'm
snow
going to make
squalls
your phone
continue,
a live
high
mic
of
now.
-2 degrees.
The Element Community Choir, along with the Children's Choir, presents a cantata entitled Peace and Joy. This takes place on Sunday, December the 4th at 2:30 p.m. at Valley View Terrace, The Village, Hanover, and Friday, December the 9th at 8 p.m. at the St. John's Lutheran Church in Elmwood. Free will offerings supporting the Chesley Food Bank will be accepted.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and not necessarily those of Blue Water Radio.
Martial Arts World Radio is brought to you by Bruce County Combat and Fitness in Walkerton. Check out the full list of classes at brucecountycombat.com. Welcome to Martial Arts World Radio. I'm your host, Joseph Clark. Over the next hour, we have 4 guests, which include UFC fighter Willie Gates, kickboxing legend Benny the Jet Urquidez, bodyguard to the stars Chuck Platten, and Master Alan Goldberg, founder of the Action Martial Arts Magazine and Hall of Honor, and the organizer of the ultimate destination for martial arts and MMA Mega Weekend 2017 Expo. I have a book to bring to your attention. Check out 21st Century Perspectives on Martial Arts at Amazon. That's 21st Century Perspectives on Martial Arts. You can find that at Amazon. And also check out our new homepage at www.mawradio.com. We are pleased to welcome iHeartRadio to our network affiliates, as well as CHCR 102.9 FM, 104.5 FM, and Radio WH in Australia. This week's inspirational quote is from Ed Parker and goes as follows, quote, "He who hesitates meditates in a horizontal position," end quote. Ed Parker, 1931 to 1990.
Hi, I'm Don the Dragon Wilson, and you're listening to Joseph Clark at Martial Arts World Radio.
Master Alan Goldberg lived for 5 years in the Wing Chun Shaolin Temple as a student. He has trained a distinguished list of students, and he is the organizer of the ultimate destination for martial arts and MMA Mega Weekend Expo taking place January 27th to 29th at the Tropicana Casino and Conference Center in Atlantic City. Alan, welcome to Martial Arts World Radio.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Now, Alan, please share with us your experience training and living at the Wing Chun Shaolin Temple.
Well, literally, I did train many years before that in the karate systems, some other kung fu systems, and this was actually, people realize this was in New York. It wasn't in China, but my instructor did come over from China and established a place here in New York. And it was just something I met him one day, and we started talking. I had my own school already, and he said, "Why don't you come up and check out our classes, whatever?" And I did. Fell in love with Wing Chun right away, and next thing you know, I was living there after that. So, we had 2 floors, and we had about 5 different bedrooms up there. And it was a dream come true. Martial arts, I wouldn't say 24 hours a day, but at least half the day was martial arts.
It does sound like a dream come true. Now, you have a distinguished list of students and business colleagues. Would you share some of the notable martial artists and celebrities whom you've conducted business with or trained with?
Well, one of the top ones that I talk about, who trained a short time with me, but was still very, very dear friends, is Joe Piscopo. Joe was, what a great guy. In fact, funny enough, we speak once a month, and it's catching up is great with a guy like that. I've had some very high-profile surgeons, Dr. Richard Pearl. I've had Demetrius Oakley Edwards, world kickboxing champion, and he's still with me to this day. He's been with me 25 years. I have associates such as Phil Morris from the Seinfeld Show. There's a lot. I have some other person that might be training with me when he comes to New York is Jason Statham. He's supposed to catch up with me when we may be doing some training. So over the years, you meet a lot of great people, and my school's the type of school you stand there and all of a sudden someone walks in the door and everyone looks, their mouth falls open because of someone they saw on TV at one time.
And of course, Joe,
if I'm not, the truth of the matter, if they're not nice people, I don't even deal with them. So their characters have to be above par, or at least par, for me to even deal with them. So.
And Joe Piscopo starred with, or co-starred with Chuck Norris in the movie Sidekicks.
Exactly, yeah. And he's turned out to be a very dear friend over the years. And just saw him on TV tonight. He was on Cavuto tonight. And the guy is full of surprises. He's always doing something different.
So, Alan, what can we expect at the ultimate destination for martial arts and MMA Mega Weekend Expo in Atlantic City in January?
All right, now you got me going. Okay, well, the weekend consists of everything from martial arts, MMA, boxing, kickboxing, and even wrestling. We bring in all the different genres because they're all connected some way or somehow. I mean, you'll find that most of these MMA people did some traditional karate systems before, or even wrestlers. That I'm amazed how many of them were black belts in different systems over the years. So, we bring them all in. We have a 3-day event. I'll give you a basic rundown. It's a 3-day event with 14 different events. We have 50 free seminars, 6 super seminars. We have 5 different tournaments going on, which I'll go over, 100 vendor booths, and approximately 25 celebrities that come to the event every year. We have a dance party, and this year we just did the Kids Action Choice Awards, not including our banquet. So we have 2 nights of the banquet. We have a breaking extravaganza, elite business seminars, and then our world famous, they call it the Academy Awards of Martial Art banquet.
And in terms of the celebrities, what faces would we recognize?
Oh, let's see. Matter of fact, just confirmed today was James Liu, also Sasha Mitchell from years ago, Dan Severn, Don the Dragon, Cynthia Rothrock, Bill Wallace, Ray Mercer, Hank Garrett, Chuck Zito, Michael Jai White, Kerry Tagawa, Benny the Jet, actually, we just spoke to his wife the other day, Samuel Kwok, Christine Banner Rodriguez, Shawnee Carter, Phil Morris, John Pellegrini, Michael Di Pasquale, Orlando Rivera, Bernie Carrick, the New York City Police Commissioner, Demetrius Oakley Edwards, and the list keeps going.
The list keeps going. A lot of those people have been on this show too, but I'm really looking forward to meeting them. What is the website URL for those who wish to register for the event?
Sure, it's hohmega.com. Very simple, the whole thing, just a big button, hit to register. And we have a couple other special things going on this year that are included with the event, which is in their own thing. We have Curtis Leewald, from the Guardian Angels were running their first international conference at our event this year. So Curtis will be on hand to do a little speaking. And some of the names that I spoke to, most of the names I spoke about, are doing free seminars at the event also. So if you wanted to go and see a Don the Dragon seminar, it may cost you $75 to $100. Here, when you pay your entrance fee, which is $45 for 3 days, you come in and there's Don the Dragon, Benny the Jet, and Dan Severn doing free seminars.
Now, Alan, we do have several UFC fighters and celebrity fighters who listen to the show. Are you still seeking any martial arts stars to attend?
Yes, I always look. I have to tell them right about. We don't pay any site fees or anything like that. I actually have someone else just said Mark Henry from the WWE, also King Kong Bundy and Tito Santana. So these guys, and we don't pay anyone. They come into the event because they want to be able to make contacts. Don the Dragon will tell you that when he comes to my event, he makes more contacts that weekend than the whole year than anything else he goes to. So it's an event where you kind of meet people and then kind of, spread your wings already where 30 countries come in from all over the world and, you maybe never get a chance to meet those people before.
So Alan, for any martial arts stars who are listening, how would you like them to reach out to you?
Best way to get me, they get me on Facebook or they can call my number, 718-856-8070. And I pick up the phone myself, so.
Listen, Alan, I'm looking forward to attending as the official radio channel and show for the expo, so we will speak again soon, but I just wanted to thank you very much once again for being here today.
No, thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
You've been listening to Master Alan Goldberg from the ultimate destination for martial arts and MMA Mega Weekend Expo 2017.
This is UFC fighter Jason Sago. You are now listening to Martial Arts World Radio with Joseph Clark.
Last September, I had the opportunity to grab some Chinese food with martial arts legend and world champion Benny the Jet Urquidez. We had a bite together around the corner from his school in Los Angeles. Here is that interview.
Benny, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to interview you once again.
Thank you much, Joe.
Internal martial arts. We discussed this in a previous interview.
Alan, are you still there?
Elaborate on this further?
Internal martial arts.
No, that's terrific. Thanks. I appreciate you being here and doing that. And if we give it another go again, perhaps the show directly before the event, and then of course we'll do a wrap-up after the event.
And in that, trying to understand the physical movement, a block, a strike, a direction.
I will for sure. I'll be in touch with you by text or email soon.
Internal martial art is about understanding the
Thank you,
why,
sir. Bye now.
the direction. It gives you the mental edge of understanding why you're doing what you're doing. And so I think internal martial arts, what it does, it brings up emotions that stop us from our better self, or it brings up emotions that help us get through certain things. That's internal martial arts.
So would you say a full contact fight, for example, or even a street fight would uncover emotions that we've never experienced in other aspects of our life?
When you're talking about full contact, you're talking about a threat. And when you talk about a threat and you feel threat, whether it be emotional threat, physical threat, spiritual threat, character threat, all brings up things that we hide very well because there's a certain program that's been taught to us to hide very well because showing the emotions of fear, anger, frustration, anxieties, it brings up to where people usually like to take advantage of it. And as they take advantage of it, it actually doesn't come out in a good way.
Benny, please share with us your philosophy on the ring as the square jungle.
The square jungle is about your home, your work, the place you train, fears people around you. And that square jungle means the energy that comes into that space. And sometimes when energy comes in that's not welcome, what happens is kind of brings up things and triggers things that are in us that we hide very well. In the square jungle, what it does, it brings a threat because the square jungle, you have no place to run. It's you and your opponent. Okay, that's there. So there's almost a trapness, and you feel trapped because you can't run from it. So you have to answer to this energy, whether it be good energy, negative energy, fun energy, whatever. You're going to have to answer to it. And when you answer to it, whether it be verbal, whether it be mental, whether it be physical, you still have to answer to it. And sometimes it's not as pleasant as most people make it out to be. So in that, bringing out that kind of energy, that sometimes that we hide, because when we feel threatened, everything under your bed, everything out of your closet, everything it comes forward, because only when you're threatened, these emotions, you cannot help. It shows up. And then sometimes what we fear is about how it looks, how it sounds. And this is what we fear. Most people hide that emotion, because if it brings up what we've been hiding, fear, then sometimes it shows up in crying, sometimes it shows up in yelling, sometimes it shows up in freaking out, sometimes it shows up in a way that sometimes we get embarrassed by what it looks like, or sometimes we get embarrassed by what we say, and we always are sorry for it, especially if we don't like it. We're sorry for what we said, and we pay for it later on.
Now, you've been in street fights, several street fights, as you shared in the book, The Jet. Are there different emotions that you feel in a street fight as opposed to a fight in the ring?
So you're talking about a street fight or talking about a fight in a ring. The difference is the fight in the ring, there's rules. You go by rules. Hey, you can't grab, you can't go to the throat, you can't kick to the knees, okay, so forth. So there's rules in the square jungle, which is the ring. In the street, there is no rules. It's about survival. So the different emotions come out. Is the first thing usually comes out is anger, okay? Because anger is very easy to show up. It shows up faster than fear. So when that anger comes up and you start striking and you start defending and you start doing whatever out of anger, what follows behind that anger, because if you hit somebody and so forth and it doesn't do anything to that person, fear follows behind it like, uh-oh, he's going to hit me harder, or I'm going to pay for that. And so there's a fear base of, am I going to be able to handle what he gives back to me? So it's easy to actually give out. As I say, it's easy to dish it out, but to get the return from it, not many people can handle the return. So in the street, the reason why the emotions come up faster is because there is no rules and nobody's there to stop it. That's why there's a danger in the street. And even though in the ring there's a danger of being knocked out or being unconscious or having some type of, injury to the head, it's not as fearful, because there's always, the rules make it more safer than the streets.
And Benny, in Bruce Lee's book, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, he wrote about fear and rage and the adrenaline rush. And in his writings, he was saying, rather than resist it or be fearful of it or refrain from it, to embrace it, to engage it and use it as a way to fuel your performance in a fight. How do you feel about that?
I feel what Bruce Lee was talking about is to use that kind of emotions to actually benefit from it. But for myself, I know from fighting in a ring and going to third world countries and fighting where there's no rules, I recognize if you use anger, fighting, you become blind. All you see is an object and you're going after it out of anger. And you become a checker player. That means you give them one hit and you'll take 3, 4, and 5, and it doesn't matter to you because you're angry and you're going to stop that person in front of you or the targets in front of you. You want to stop it. So you're not really looking. If it's fearful and if you have a lot of a lot of fear while you're in the ring and somebody hits you, it's like having a cold shower. It's like getting a cold shower and there's this shot goes to your body and it actually stops you from moving forward. And all you're doing is trying to protect yourself by hiding, running, or getting out of the way. And sometimes they say, well, the fear, sometimes the fear, instead of running away, I run at the person. And a lot of people that actually use fear to move them forward, they're actually not hitting target, they're just striking at a person, and they're not hitting target, they're just going and trying to stop that person out of fear. And if it comes to a third stage, which is frustration, is when you start talking to yourself and beating yourself up mentally. And you start telling yourself, what's wrong with me? Come on, I'm looking bad. I'm better than that. And you start saying all these. In other words, a lot of other voices start coming in your head. And all these other voices starts putting doubt in you. And then you start getting frustrated. And you start getting angry at that frustration. But if you go to the stage 4, which is anxieties, means I'm stuck. I can't move. I need somebody to help me get out of it. Either give me something or go to a doctor to give me something to slow me down. Or usually somebody, your corner man that you trust, will help you and calm you down to get you out of that anxieties.
Benny, in your book, The Jet, you shared that when you were younger, you got in some trouble with the law. And it sounded from your description in the book like you had what we'd refer to as an aha moment. You came to some realizations. In fact, a couple times in your book, you mentioned areas where you, in your life and in your journey, where you came to some realizations about things that troubled you about your behavior at that time. You were aware of them, but then you still indulged in that behavior a little longer. So at some point in your life, was there a monumental moment where you turned a corner, or was it always a gradual transition for you to get to a more enlightened state?
I believe when I was younger, what happens, you get into a stage of not having the experience and being shorter than everybody else. And I've always, for some reason, out of all my family, they always picked me. They always chose me to want to fight. And so in that, you know, I believe that we come into this world, our souls come into this world with, you know, my soul. I really, deep inside, I really have a good soul. It's just circumstances. The physical part, when I got challenged, is I had no choice but to go out there and defend. And then I got to the point where when people
commercial break and then a bumper and then the next interview.
Actually got to the point where I started getting angry at not them. I was really believing that I was angry at myself, and being angry at myself was very easily to be angry at the world. So in that, being angry at me, taking it out on the world, that people that would challenge me, it would be easy for me to take it out on them. But deep inside, when I walked away, I didn't feel good about it. I never felt good about hurting somebody. Even if they challenged me, even if they, the one that started it, it doesn't matter, because I don't have to say, well, they started it, so I finished it. And it wasn't about that. It was about the fact that I just didn't like myself when I was younger. And when you don't like yourself, it's hard to like anybody else. But I knew that after I hurt the person, I walked away not feeling good about it, and I thought, why do I do it? You know, if I don't like the way I feel after I do it, why do I do it? And I can always justify where they started it. They grabbed me, they pushed me, they challenged me. And so I can always justify why I did it, but deep inside, I didn't like that feeling until one day, as I got older, I started having more experience because I was making money at 15 years old. I was making money when people challenged me. Now, $100 back then, the 60, that's a lot of money for a kid. And so when they would put money down and winner take all, you know, I always, you know, hey, it was like, hey, ice cream on me. It was, you know, because to me, the fighting was my least problem. That I can do easily. It seems like I was always a performer since I can remember. It's just I never liked the fact me hurting somebody. I never liked how I felt about it after doing it.
Did that change your perspective as a competitor as well? Because when that happened, you were a competitor in martial arts, and you were a champion in martial arts, I believe, in competitive martial arts at that time. So after that incident and experiencing those emotions of going back and reconciling and making right, did it change how you looked at competitors when you were fighting in point karate and full contact karate?
Actually, when I went to the next tournament, it was a Four Seasons, and I went there, and everybody was looking at me like, everybody looked at me and saying, man, you have a smile like you just won the lottery. You know, what's this smile about? You know, and I said, hey, I'm just happy to be here and just, you know, I'm excited about the competition. But I had a smile from ear to ear. I was so excited. From that point on, I really think that that kid really changed my heart and who I am, the way I look at things. I think that he taught me such a lesson that I realized that I didn't really have to be with such, I could do the same thing I was doing, but with out of love and such fun, and not have to, nothing's changed. I was jump kicking, dropping people, this and that back, but I was having such a good time because my attitude was out of love and fun, what I love doing.
Invaluable life lessons. Benny, thank you once again for taking the time to speak with us, and all the best to you.
And all this listening, truly, that is what they call internal training.
This has been an interview with the great Benny the Jet Urquidez on Martial Arts World Radio.
91.3 FM. Our community, your
Bruce County
station.
Combat and Fitness in Walkerton offers recreational and competitive kickboxing and boxing classes for children and adults, as well as yoga classes. Your first class is always free to try. Bruce County Combat and Fitness offers single monthly memberships for as low as $45 and $67 for a family. Their drop-in fees are only $7 for most classes and just $5 for yoga and Little Warriors. Check out their full schedule at brucecountycombat.com. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They also sell a full range of fight gear and apparel.
Here's Mark and Don Leslie from Leslie Motors.
Hey, Mark, do you remember that song, We're Here for a Good Time, Not a Long Time?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I was just thinking that's the way people might think when they're buying a car. No one really enjoys the experience.
We're here for a good time.
Hey, Mark, focus. Just think, Leslie Motors makes buying a car more of a joy than a chore.
Just like the song says, when you visit Leslie Motors, you want to be there for a good time, not a long time.
Exactly.
Visit Leslie Motors in Walkerton, Harriston, and Wingham. A pleasant drive from anywhere.
Tired of hard water wreaking havoc around your home? Dry skin and lifeless hair? Dull and dingy laundry? Soap scum and spotted glasses too?
Hey, Culligan man! A Culligan water softener turns hard water soft every time. Soft water is the answer. Not cleaning products or detergents. Culligan saves you up to 50% on soaps and detergents while turning your laundry, bathroom, and kitchen brilliant, like me. Hey, Culligan man!
If you signed your organ donor card, we thank you. But did you know that it's still your family that makes the ultimate decision? That's why you have to discuss it with them. So, if you're listening to this right now with someone in your family, look at them and say, I want to be an organ donor. We'll wait a moment while you do that. There, it's done. Thank you from the Kidney Foundation of Canada.
BWR, Blue Water Radio. Mixing all your favorite music.
Martial Arts World Radio is brought to you by Bruce County Combat and Fitness in Walkerton. Check out the full list of classes at brucecountycombat.com.
News, music, and information. Blue Water Radio, all day long. 91.3 FM.
Bruce County Combat and Fitness in Walkerton offers recreational and competitive kickboxing and boxing classes for children and adults, as well as yoga classes. Your first class is always free to try. Bruce County Combat and Fitness offers single monthly memberships for as low as $45 and $67 for a family. Their drop-in fees are only $7 for most classes and just $5 for yoga and Little Warriors. Check out their full schedule at brucecountycombat.com. Find them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They also sell a full range of fight gear and apparel.
This is Olivier Gruner. You are listening to Martial Arts World Radio with Joseph Clark.
For those of you listening to Martial Arts World Radio while on your phones, tablets, or laptops, be sure to check out www.bobwallworldblackbelt.com, the world's foremost martial arts online community. Also, check out our show website for the advertisement for London Sports. London Sports is a provider of quality sports apparel and equipment at factory prices, which you can brand with your organization's distinctive logo to resell to your members and customers. Just visit www.mawradio.com and click on the London Sports logo to send your inquiry. Willie Whoop-Ass Gates is a 29-year-old UFC flyweight fighter out of Fontana, California. Willie, thanks for joining us and welcome to Martial Arts World Radio.
How you doing? Glad to be here, guys.
So Willie, beginning with the end in mind, at what age did you begin martial arts?
I believe I first walked into a mixed martial arts gym around age of 24, 25.
And what was it that drew you to the sport?
Actually, I had no idea about UFC, mixed martial arts, until a buddy of mine was actually getting into Muay Thai. And then he was actually come down and join the gym one day, and I tried that out, kind of got good at it, and just I was hooked ever since then.
So what was it, Willie, that inspired or motivated you to compete?
Just something that I never thought I would be interested in, and then it just caught my attention, and I felt that I can be somebody at this, and I can be good at this, and I'm a competitive person as it is, so it was just already in my nature, my blood. I just went on trying it out.
Did you compete as an amateur?
Yeah, I had well, back when I started, they didn't have amateur fights. They just had kind of smokers or just, hey, meet us at the gym at 3 o'clock and let's get it on. But
Hey, Chuck, how are you?
other than that, I did about
You're
5
doing
of
good.
those.
So it's 7:34. We've got about 11 minutes of content set to go. After which time we're going to have a quick commercial break and we're going to do an interview. So I would
Is
say
there a
that
particular
we're
area in
on
mixed
track
martial
for
arts that
around
you lean more
7:45
towards,
or so.
or is there a foundation martial
Right,
art that you
so
prefer?
I will call you back in about.
I had no idea what mixed martial arts was, or I never wrestled karate.
That sounds
I
good.
didn't do any
If
of that
for
as
some
a
reason,
child.
what's that?
And I guess what I was known
Alright.
for, good at, was really just stand up.
It actually sounds pretty good, nice and quiet.
And growing up, were you aware of the golden age of martial arts? And were you a fan of martial art films? Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee?
Restrain yourself
Yeah,
from driving around.
like Bruce Lee, but I would never consider myself fighting or even picking up the martial arts at the time. But, you know, I guess it just found me.
Yeah, that's good.
So Willie, as you became a professional mixed martial artist, what would a day of training look like for you?
Living 3 days
So I'm gonna open up.
mixed martial arts in a gym,
Just,
24/7.
I have my Superman bio
trying
for
to
you,
spend
but
my
I'll ask
craft,
you about
really.
your various stands and degrees.
So it sounds like you were hooked.
Talk about a couple
Yeah,
of the
for the
stars
most
or some
part,
of the stars that
when
you
I first started off,
for.
you know,
I have a couple of questions about that.
I
and we'll
just
get into
grew from there.
the
Really, I
lethal
was
and non-lethal nature of military and
finding out artists and new fighters,
law
champions,
enforcement
and everybody.
Did you have people who motivated you or who were inspirations, role models growing up?
Not necessarily growing up, like I said, I just mixed martial arts.
Good stuff.
Mixed martial arts just slapped in the face one day. You know, I didn't really know anything about it.
that
You
is
know,
why you're perfect.
I wanted to be an actor, so it was just two totally different worlds I was living in. And,
You've
you know, I
had a good
just
run so
started
far
with
today.
mixed martial
Knock
arts
on
first.
wood.
I get to
No
say I was
technical glitches or
Van Damme,
anything, it should be good.
fan, though. Chuck Norris, you know.
Now, we started at
Everybody
7
else,
p.m.
all those guys.
And now, as a professional mixed martial artist, do you have people in your life who motivate or inspire you?
Alan Goldberg,
my
Benny
coaches,
Jet,
teammates.
Will we get
You know,
UFC fighter?
you always have somebody better, or you want to be, or that inspires you to be better or push yourself. And so I would give that out to my coach.
Yeah, that one was previously recorded. So was this one? With,
So Willie, would you walk us through and share with us the chain of events that
was
led to
actually
you being called up by the UFC?
Oh yeah, it was just kind of a snowball thing, really. Like, yeah, I just went from 1 second fighting on the local circuit to just taking these last minute fights and taking advantage of it and capitalizing on it. And, you know, just 1 second, you know, just having shows, and then you know you're fighting on the biggest stage, you know.
So when the UFC reached out to your manager, Willie, what was going through your head? What emotion were you feeling when you found out that you were being called to fight in the UFC?
I was nervous, happy, scared, just, you know, like, it was a lot. It just came fast. It came too fast, actually. I didn't really expect it at the time, you know, for me to get a call up to the UFC. So I had to take it slow because I didn't think it would come.
Willie, if I was in your shoes and I got that call, I would probably be asking myself, am I ready yet? Have I earned it? Do I deserve to be here? Did any of those questions go through your mind at the time?
No, most definitely. It ran through my mind, like, you know, she's been here, like, you know, are you ready for this? Like, you know, just little self-doubt, you know, something that I wish I never had it at first, but it was something that was just rambling on in my mind, just because, for the simple fact, like I said, 1 second I'm at the local circuit, like, knowing that, oh, well, you know, if I keep on doing this maybe 2-3 years, you know, I'll be ready for the UFC. And then have to turn around and be like, no, you got like 2 months to get ready for this.
Willie, I think for most of us to doubt ourselves is to be human. It's a very common thing. How did you work through that in order to prevail?
Well, like, I kind of just have to push through it. You know, I'm strong-willed, and you know, I just have to push through it and keep on going because, you know, I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter at heart. You know, it's just that willpower that just kept me through it. Like I said, I even started off my career on too. You know, so me starting off like that, just already thinking like, is this for me? Should I be fighting? Like, you're not good enough. And, you know, turning that around to a winning record and then winning a couple more fights. And now I'm at the top of the heap. You know, so that was another motivation of mine because I didn't start off too good, and then I kept on going. I kept on pushing myself, and you know, I beat myself out, and now look at me. You know.
Willie, it's only natural when you get some good news, such as an opportunity like that to be called up to the UFC, that you're going to want to tell your friends and family and share that good news. And of course, the price you pay for that is you are now in the spotlight, and there's this expectation to perform, and you no doubt, like any of us, want so badly to please them and to impress them, and they're all watching you on fight day. So, of course, that's a very nervous situation. Tell us how you dealt with that and mentally how you approached those expectations that were on you.
Well, the first fight is always a toss-up, you know, because you never really know, you know. I think the first fight should be the easiest because if you win it, then you win it. You know, especially in my case, it was last minute, so it was kind of like, hey, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But hey, you better be damned if you did it, you know. So I just went out there, you know, of course, I took my first fight short notice. I lost to John Moraga, so it was like, you know, he was number 2 in the world, you know, like, took him to the third round, like, he did good, like, you know, so it's like, okay, you're getting some encouragement, but then back in my mind, it's like, no, I could have won this fight. You know, I should have won, you know, but it was okay that I did lose, or, you know, because it was short notice, but, like, that's not really an excuse for that. But people like that.
So, Willie, doing some soul searching here. After that first fight, when the crowd had dispersed, when you were back in your hotel room and you reflected on the fight, were you able to say to yourself, I left it all in the octagon? Or, out of nervousness and just the new guy factor, did you hold back on that fight? Or did you give it your all?
No. I held back. I never felt that. Like, if you ever fought or competed and you knew that, hey, I done the best I could. I couldn't go anymore. I couldn't be any stronger. I couldn't be any faster. I couldn't be any better. Like, that's who I was at the peak. You can't be mad at yourself because you couldn't go any further, you know. But me, I felt that I could have done more. I could have capitalized on certain situations that I didn't capitalize on. So you typically pinpoint those and you teach yourself at that because, you know, you could have done better.
So what did you take away from that experience, and what did you tell yourself to prepare yourself for that second fight?
Just tell yourself that, you know, you deserve to be here. You're here for a reason, you know, and go out there and improve yourself. And, you know, my next fight, I had to take the fight on actually fighting my teammate, somebody that I started with from, you know, from almost day one of me stepping into the gym. So I had to necessarily pull those emotions aside and actually show the world, like, you know, I deserve to be here. And I fought Daryl Montague, and I ended up winning that fight via TKO. So it felt a little better, but like I said, it was like a bittersweet moment at the time because I had to go in there and fight a friend. It's not necessarily a teammate, not a training partner, like a friend. And that was kind of tough for me to go in there and do that, but you know, at the end of the day, we got a job to do.
Willie, would you share with us your perspective and your philosophy on pursuing personal excellence and becoming a champion?
Pretty much, you gotta put your heart into it. You know, you gotta put everything that you can, and you gotta push yourself. You gotta be better. You gotta be obsessed. You gotta be crazy. You know, you gotta be driveful. You just gotta be life. Like, you know, especially if you want to be a champion at this level, like you have to. That, you know, I messed up because I had so many other distractions in my life, and I was dealing with so much stuff and so many other things that was turning me away from what I needed to focus on, and it showed in my performances.
Are there challenges now in life outside of the octagon that you're better equipped to take on as a result of your experience as a mixed martial artist?
Most definitely, you know, but like I said, you know, I was dealing with them at the time, and it affected me and my performance. So, you know, I just got to start back from square one and then show them that, you know, I really did deserve to be there. Maybe I wasn't really fully prepared to be there at the time, but hey, man, I'm back and I'm ready.
Willie, many of my guests, Jason Jackson, Don the Dragon Wilson, Bob Wall, they'll tell us that the challenges in the ring or the challenges in the octagon are easy compared to the challenges in life. You know, losing somebody, overcoming grief, dealing with relationships. These are challenges that are very complex as compared to the challenges in the octagon. Would you agree with that?
Minutes. We're just wrapping up the last 60 seconds of this recorded interview. We'll have a couple of ads, and then we'll come back on the air and I'll introduce you. So I'm going to keep you on the air now until the interview starts, okay? You're going to do great. Break away. You're going to make your phone a live mic now. I will be back on the air with you one more time before we start.
Something that you just got to overcome. You have to overcome situations in life. You got to overcome some situations in a fight. So in a sense, it's all the same, you know.
And Willie, as we bring our interview to a close, would you impart some words of wisdom for our listeners who are young martial artists or new to mixed martial arts and are hoping to become a professional Bellator or the UFC?
Just give it your all. If it's something that you really want to do and you want to pursue, like, just make sure you do it 100% so you have no doubt if you fail or succeed in it.
Willie, thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you all the very best on your ongoing endeavors as a professional mixed martial artist. You have been listening to my interview with UFC fighter Willie Gates.
Join us in Hanover this holiday season for our annual Hanover Holiday Shop and Win promotion. Collect stamps while shopping locally at 50 participating locations and enter for your chance to win one of 12 prizes totaling $3,000. Grand prize draws take place December 19th, just in time for Christmas.
So just a couple of ads
Have
to go,
yourself
and
a
then
merry
I'll
little
do
shopping
your,
spree in
welcome
Hanover
everybody
this
back
holiday
to your
season.
bio, and then we'll get
Discover
started.
more at hanover.ca/shop-win.
All right, good stuff. Remember, speak loud, speak slow, clear into the phone, and you'll be good to go.
Business, but how? And what's the first step? Saugeen Economic Development Corporation
I'm gonna
understands
make your
small
phone
businesses
alive
and the
right now.
local
We'll speak next.
marketplace.
It'll be on your live.
SADC provides training
All right,
and
thanks
business
again for
counseling
doing
to
that. Much
businesses,
appreciated.
entrepreneurs, and social enterprises.
Break away.
Information on relevant government
And your phone
programs
is
and
alive
the
right
tools to assist you with the development of a business plan. Go to the website sbdc.ca and click on training for this month's in-house workshop schedule, or send your questions to info@sbdc.ca. SEDC, working in partnership for the community's future for over 25 years.
Martial Arts World Radio is brought to you by Bruce County Combat and Fitness in Walkerton. Check out the full list of classes at combat.com.
91.3 FM. FM means fantastic music.
Martial Arts World Radio is brought to you by Bruce County Combat and Fitness in Walkerton. Check out the full list of classes at brucecountycombat.com.
Fighter Alex Ritchie. You are listening to Martial Arts World Radio with Joseph Clark.
Our next guest has black belts in Judo, Hapkido, Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo, and has established his own style and system. He has circled the globe over 100 times, and he has trained law enforcement and military. Master Chuck Platten has also provided security for Sophia Loren, Rod Stewart, 30 years. He considers his greatest accomplishments to be his various international humanitarian projects. Chuck, welcome to Martial Arts World Radio.
Thank you, Joseph.
Chuck, would you please share the various dans and degrees and black belts which you've earned over the years?
Oh, God. I started off in Shotokan in 59, Soroka. Established my fourth dan with Sensei Yes. I started in Jiu-Jitsu and Judo with Vakatashita in the 60s. Then I went around 1967, I got into, at that time, there was only one system, Taekwondo. I got into Taekwondo with Master Chumji Tay and Jung Park. And then love of my life. And I basically stayed in Hapkido forever, you know, in the midst of that, studying Bando in the Philippines and some Panjar Salat in Indonesia, Chinese Kempo in Canada, and I'm a grandmaster in Hapkido, and created Chikido Kwan in basically 1978, and finally brought it to the public in 1998.
Which is your own system that you still train people on today?
Yes, which is, you know, basically the military police combat art.
And Chuck, would you also share with us some of the various stars whom you've provided security for through the years?
Oh, so many. I did the victory tour with Michael Jackson, the Michael Jackson family. I did Celine Dion. I had the security, but actually I was personally checked for security, a separate company. Diana Ross. Stone.
When you provide security for the
strange field.
Security is a strange field.
This is true.
When you provide security for these celebrities, are you basically introduced to them, you know, within a few minutes before you travel somewhere, or do you actually get a chance to establish some rapport with them?
Ground laid, because you, especially if it's a tour, like with Me to Money, it was the one drop tour, right? So you had X amount of cities. Each city is different. You set everything up to switch from city to city. So my job, because is when you piece everything up beforehand.
How did these dignitaries generally receive you? Are they engaging, or are you a bit of a ghost to them?
Some of them I'm a ghost to. A lot of them was hands-on. It depends on what the venue was. It was personal VIP, but then you're really close. You know, like with De Niro and
Okay.
Yeah, so it varies. It depends on the venue itself.
So for the benefit of the listening audience, the type of vigilance or attention to detail that's involved in these instances where these people are under your care.
Yeah, that varies. You know, we live in a violent world. So it's just a carrier figure. It doesn't matter if it's political entertainment or whatever. And people, maybe a little bit better. People that they're it varies between on that they sometimes just
The training regimen that you've designed for armed.
Yeah, it's rough. With the forces in the world, right? This is lethal force. So it's your life on the line, and your partners and your fellow people you're with, the forces, their lives on the line too. So in essence, stage of the game. There's nothing pretty. It's completely up to you in your own business.
Compared to the
they kind of take it from everybody, they take some from System Line, some of them take it from, Rebel Ground, some take it from Hapkido. I mean, have you seen the Northern Korean Army Special Forces to protect the president? You see it, the basics looks like Taekwondo Hapkido, and then the weapons part looks absolutely insane. It's over the top protective. Once again, the forces, the bottom line is they're not supposed to lose. That's why they're the armed forces.
So Chuck, how does your law enforcement training your law enforcement training differ from the military? Obviously, it's restrictive, it's non-lethal, but how would it differ?
Worldwide police forces all have the same general idea and the general restrictions. It's what is now acceptable by the public is use of force, right? So unlike in the military where you would, this is by you would pass some guy hit him with a gun because you have no choice, right? These people are not all lethal criminals. Some of them are just drunk and disorderly, and maybe just obnoxious, or maybe just somebody just mentally ill or mentally challenged.
Sure.
Right. So force. So a lot of that type of the use of force with police forces is what they call. One is now camera friendly because it was all caught on the cameras. So you can't go bashing people and strangling people and shoot them in the head, beat them with your gun. That's just not acceptable by the public. And I agree. So a lot of it's restraint. A lot of it is locks and holds. A lot of it is like very plain tackle takedown that you see in UFC. The idea is the police don't go around beating people up because it's fun. They have to restrain them and take them into custody because that's the law. That doesn't mean that they're going to beat you to death, to put you in handcuffs. And that's not always easy. So it's a lot of choices between each officer. And you're teaching, the idea is to teach them how to get the job done as fast as they can without the least amount of energy and the least amount of damage.
Okay.
That's acceptable.
Okay. Chuck, do you provide the same training for prison guards as you would for the police, or would that differ as well?
Yeah, basically it's the same. Police will have more of an opportunity to be in violent confrontations than you would a lethal violent confrontation, because I mean there's guns on the street, there's not guns in the army and corrections with the penal system. So the biggest probably threat you would have in a penal system would be somebody with a shank or someone with a knife.
Okay.
Right? And so you're not really not as in arm's way as you would be as a law enforcement officer. Law enforcement officers have a tough job because it's just unpredictable. You don't know what you'll be walking into a domestic and the guy's got a shotgun. You don't know what's coming until you get there. So the difference in the two is one is more of a ready use of force where hey, the call out fails, like, I have to put my gun and shoot the guy. And the other is, well, there's enough of us to jump on him and subdue him. With one, it's a lot of people, like, especially if you go, like, here in Ontario, this is one of many corrections worldwide, and they call it the ISIS team. It's the team that takes guys misbehaving in the jail cells and stuff like that, and to extract them out of a jail cell. It's just a big rush of people and take them to the ground and get them custody. Can't hurt himself or anybody else. And then move them from the cell.
Okay.
And once again, it's the same idea, right? Trying to do it without hurting him as best you can.
Now, Chuck, we're going to have a wrap-up question here really, really quick. We're down to our last 60 seconds, so we got to make this one a quick answer. Wrap-up question. Do you generally find that the police you train have already trained in other styles?
Very much so.
Okay, Chuck. Thank you very much for being on the show. We look forward to having you back real soon. It's always a pleasure speaking with you as always, and we'll definitely have you back again.
My pleasure, Joseph, and to your fans. This is a great channel and a great martial arts channel. I love it. And hope everyone's listening.
Hey, much appreciated, Chuck. This has been an interview with security expert, Master Chuck Platten. Be sure to check us out at www.maradio.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube by following Martial Arts World Radio. I'm Joseph Clark. All the best, and thank you for listening.
Good evening. How are you?